My name is Keith Barrett, founder and president of Vesta Settlements. We're doing our stroll through the residential real estate contract, and in this particular video, we're talking about the adjustments provision. So, one of the more complicated areas when someone goes to closing and they review a settlement statement are those fees and apportionments that have to do with prorated items. And the two most common would be taxes and HOA. And this is the paragraph that really discusses that, the adjustments between the parties. Let me just address the two most common, because those are the ones you're really going to see come up. When two parties, a seller and a buyer, go to closing on a transaction, they will go to closing on a certain date in a certain month. And whatever month that is, it's very likely that payment for one thing or another, in this case, county property taxes, it could be town taxes, and also HOA for sure, might have been paid by one party. But that party is only responsible up until the day of settlement, which means the other party then has to compensate back for any payment that had been made. So for example, if we go to closing in the month of April, and I, as the seller, have made my April HOA payment, but we go to closing on April 15th, well then as of the 15th, the buyer takes responsibility for that. So the buyer would have to give what's called a prorated credit or an adjustment back to the seller to cover their period of ownership forward from the 15th until the end of the month. So you'll see those figures on the settlement statement as a means to recompensate a party who had already made a payment, or sometimes in the case of county taxes, it could go the other way. It would be, for example, because county taxes are paid in arrears, it might be the seller paying the buyer for the seller's period of ownership in the property because the buyer is going to make that future payment in the future, which would have covered the seller's period of ownership. So again, we're just apportioning to the day of closing on the day of the month in which a deal closes, and this is the provision that kind of accounts for that and gives direction to the parties about what to expect on the settlement statement. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout in our next video. And also, if you have more questions about prorations, please see our website under our blog section. We've written a number of articles explaining in detail these common settlement questions that we get. Thanks again.